Red state governors are competing with each other to see who can be most cruel and callous with the life of undocumented migrants. This week's winner is Greg Abbott, who announced that he had just dropped off the first bus, implying that there will be others, of migrants in LA. So basically, he loaded a bunch of human beings up onto a bus. He carted them, I don't know, 1,000, 1,500 miles away and dropped them off somewhere. And that's pretty much it. And he says LA is a city migrants seek to go to, particularly now its leaders approved its self-declared sanctuary status. So LA's cool. They said that they don't despise migrants, so whatever, just go there, we don't care. And this apparently is true, this did actually happen. Karen Bass, mayor of LA, said in a statement that more than 40 people, and I'm glad that that word is in there to remind everyone that they're people. She says they were dropped off. She says it's abhorrent that an American elected official is using human beings as pawns in his cheap political games. Texas says now they've sent 21,600 migrants to sanctuary cities all across the country. They probably don't know the exact number, and I understand why they don't believe that these are people. They're not worth actually tracking. They just dropped them at Union Station. That's it. A human rights organization thankfully came and helped these human beings, brought them to a church. You know, a church, it's a place where like people supposedly have political values. In this case, they did. In the case of Abbott, they just pretend that they do, but then they treat them like garbage. Can you imagine if Jesus had seen the loading up of this bus? Anyway, Viviana, what do you think?
There were children on that bus too, John.
Yeah.
There were children on that bus. I think it's Operation Wetback 2023. This is something that the United States has done for a long, long time. And it's a real political, tactic to try to drum up, sort of favor with your party. Karen Bass said it perfectly. It's just using these people as a political pawn. Just to inform, Union Station here in Los Angeles is a train hub and a bus hub. It's not a safe place for children and families to just be dropped off and not have a plan. It's actually quite despicable and disgusting. But like I said, the United States has a long-standing history of carting immigrants left and right, and citizens, mind you. Operation Wetback actually took anybody who looked to be Mexican and shipped them to put them on a train and put them in Mexico. Abbott wishes he could do that, but the Constitution doesn't let him do that. So now he's got to put him somewhere else. And so that's what he's doing. And it's sick, it's abhorrent, it's horrible, and we're gonna keep seeing it. And hopefully there are many sanctuary cities like Los Angeles, I'm proud to reside in, that we don't treat people like that. We try to have some sort of plan to, treat people humanely.
100%, yeah, treat them like actual people. Treat them like, when we were reading those religious texts growing up, one or two words remained, like actually had an effect on us. Anyway, Governor Abbott needs Jesus. That's what I'll end with.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.